Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Hot Water Tour. I'm Bill McDonald. For the next hour, fiberglass warfare at its finest. We've got the top riders in the country as we take you to 6 stops around the country and show you 3 different events. Here's what we've got for you. It should be a lot of fun. We'll have the Hydrocross Championship. That's on the closed course. Riders going 50 miles an hour going for the checkered flag. Then the Super Solo Challenge. 2 riders going head-to-head against the clock, elimination heats until we determine the winner. And then everybody's favorite, the freestyle. Tricks, dives, flips, spins. It should be a lot of fun. All right, we are going to get underway with the action in just a moment, but first, let's get a taste of the fastest growing water sport in America. All right, now that you know what this sport is all about, let's move to San Diego, California, and round number 1, where the local girls really know how to fire up a crowd. And with that, the crowd is more than ready for some hot action with the freestyle. And we will first take a look at Tim Tynan. Now, he's a local favorite from Oceanside. And Tynan scores well enough to finish third with 2 big-time aerials off the surf. Then there's superstar Larry Rippenkroger, who uses his patented tailspin and nose stab to lock up second place. Meanwhile, expert wave rider Hollywood Scott Watkins begins his bid for a 3rd national title with some big aerials and a huge win. In fact, Hollywood flies so high, he may never come down. In the Super Solo Challenge held in the calmer waters of the Bay, the Mighty Mite, the Kid, Chris McCluggage, finishes third in a very close matchup with fellow Floridian John Stevens. Now in the finals, Stevens has a chance to upset the King, Jeff Jacobs, when the Jammer bobbles during the second run. However, Jacobs seals the victory by turning in the fastest time of the day in his first run. Navigating the surf was often the key in the sprint to the hole shot. And in the 650, John Stevens has no problem getting there first and establishing a huge lead. The race becomes a battle for second with up-and-comer Frank the Werewolf Romero holding on to the position early. But then the Kid, Chris McCluggage, guns him down and sets his sights on the leader. However, Stevens proves to be an elusive target and cruises to an easy win. Women's Pro Mod action. And right out of the chute, Ragin' Reagan Cole grabs the whole shot along with the hope of beating longtime nemesis and world champ Christy Carlson. The 2 great racers lock horns in a heated battle. And Christy passes, but almost makes a fatal mistake by overshooting a buoy. The duel continues as Reagan regains the lead, but a determined Carlson storms back and passes again, denying Cole a first-round upset. These are the 2 best in the business, and Christy takes the win in world champion style. Let's take a closer look at the blonde bombshell, Christy Carlson.
The most important things in life are what we all already have, and that's a family, and we have God to give us our peace so that we can enjoy exactly where we are right now. When I train, I've got Bill, who's real strict with me, and we settle for nothing but 100%, the best we can do. We train to be the best.
Christy is a study in contrast.
One fun thing in life is to not have to be stuck with the same thing all the time, a variety of things. I love to get out and carve a slalom and then come in and put the skis away and listen to some intense classical music and try to play it myself. I opened up a little jewelry shop called Jet Gems, and it's a way for me to outlet some of my creative ideas.
But once in the water, her cool sensitivity gives way to her fierce competitive fire.
When you're on the line, no friends. Everybody's just kind of, they want to win. Everybody wants to beat one another.
Christy has some advice for women who are thinking of getting into the sport.
Go for it. Try really hard. Practice and train. Approach the sponsors with photos and tell them what you can do for that company. And the more women involved, the more interest there's going to be for our class, and we'll get more money and more support. So I encourage all the women that are interested to get involved. If you've never tried it, try it. You'll love it.
In the men's Pro Mod, world champion Jeff Jacobs has all kinds of trouble at the start. And Hall and Harry Gocher gains the advantage by taking the whole shot. He sprints to a big lead, but can't help looking over his shoulder as Jacobs passes riders with ease. And soon the Jammer finds himself right on Harry's heels. He attempts a pass, but taking the inside line, Gocher fends him off and maintains his advantage. Until this turn, when Gocher makes a crucial mistake, and Jacobs, the champion that he is, seizes the opportunity and takes the lead, chalking up an opening round victory in his hometown. After one stop on the tour, it's Hall and Harry Gocher with the overall points lead. However, the kid Chris McCluggage and jammer Jeff Jacobs right behind. And with 5 stops still left, look out for the world champion. Jacobs is going to be hard to beat. All right, move on now to our next stop. It's Sacramento, California. And for some local history, let's check in with Kat Lindsay.
Gold fever is a disease that's excited and enticed man since the dawn of time. So I headed west to the mother low country in search of some for myself so I could go shopping.
It all began in 1848 when foreman John Marshall discovered a gold nugget at newly constructed Sutter's Mill. Soon the rush was on. The mother lode, which stretches over 120 miles, begins right here in the historical city of Folsom. Because of the gold fever, this little town played an important role in major discoveries that spurred the Industrial Revolution. In 1856, the oldest train stop west of the Mississippi was built here to connect the mining camps with riverboats in Sacramento. The Pony Express, which began carrying mail across the country to Folsom in 1860, expired only 18 months later with the invention of Western Union's transcontinental telegraph system. Perhaps Folsom's greatest contribution came later in 1895. Prisoners who earlier built Folsom State Prison with rocks from a nearby granite quarry also helped construct the first powerhouse in the world to provide long-distance electricity transmission for commercial use. This revolutionized power distribution to a now energy-hungry nation. Folsom today has become one of the largest centers for antique trade in the West, and there's plenty of shopping. So, if you ever get caught up with some gold fever, bring your pan and a little imagination. And who knows, you may get lucky.
Arriving with a solid win in round number 1, Scott Watkins found a number of anxious competitors attempting to steal his thunder. Lloyd Burlew tried some dancing. Jeff Kantz does the kamikaze body sub. Rippenkroger rides in reverse. But Hollywood's Scott Watkins matches them stride for stride, and his effortless, fluid style captures his second victory on tour. In the Super Solo Challenge, 4th place finisher Brent Alcorn posts a time of 24:90. However, David McConnell beats that mark by 42 hundredths of a second. But the best times were yet to come, as first-round defender Jeff Jacobs faces off against Chris McCluggage. On their first run, Jacobs posts a 24:19, which is good enough for the lead. However, McCluggage comes back strong on his last run with an impressive 23:94. And the kid beats the champ. .650 limited time. Chris McCluggage stays red hot and goes right to the front, ripping it on the water and leads wire to wire. The battle for second pits David McConnell against Frank Romero, with the werewolf stalking and howling and eventually getting the better of it. McCluggage's apparent win is taken away by race directors, however, as the kid mistakenly misses a buoy and is disqualified. Hard-charging Frank Romero is awarded the win. In the women's pro mod, it's Karen Jacobs, the mother of Jeff Jacobs, taking the whole shot, chased by Christy Carlson until Carlson gets hammered.
And somebody plowed right into me, and after that, thanks to Arai helmets, I still have a head. About 3 girls banked off the top of my head.
Meanwhile, the racing continues. Brenda Burns battles off the field and holds on to second until she gets a big break when Jacobs makes a bad mistake by slamming into the log jump. Burns catches up, but too late, as Jacobs takes the checkered flag and counts her blessings as she shakes off near disaster.
Let's hear for
In the men's pro mod with the field on the line and ready to rip, Jeff Jacobs has mechanical problems with his boat. As his crew works feverishly to find the problem and get it back on the water, Jacobs can only watch in frustration as the race begins. Coming off the line and taking the whole shot once again is Holland Harry Gocher, who is more than happy not to worry about the jammer chasing him down as he did in San Diego. Second place finisher Chad Katona is no challenge, as Holland Harry goes wire to wire and grabs a victory in Sacramento. Let's take a minute now and see what makes Holland Harry tick.
Saddle Cove, on the shores of beautiful Lake Mead. It's a quiet relaxation spot for vacationers. Until Holland Harry hits the water. Even at his backyard training site near Las Vegas, Nevada, people are noticing a difference in Harry Gocher.
Everybody's seen me change. You know, they've seen me go from the punk Harry, the rebel without a cause guy, the bad boy image, you know. Well, I think I've cleaned up the surfaces a bit. I'm just a dude.
It's true. Harry has tried to change, but
I'll tell you what, that bad boy instinct's still inside of me, you know. I like to go on the track and just kick major butt, and I get rowdy still. I wear crazy clothes. I go to concerts. I go to the Scorpions, you know. Rock and roll. Very important part of my racing program. Head on out to the lake, get in there, pop in the tape, little hard to handle action, gets me going, gets me flowing. I'm stoked, I'm on the water, I'm one with the boat. I can feel the music, I'm there, I'm pumped. Very important part of my racing program.
that's right. This year, Team Gocher has gotten serious. With Wreck World mechanic Dave Newman, West Coast believes it has found the right combination. After surviving a near-fatal neck injury, Harry has realigned his goals. Promoting the safety of the sport as well as creating more interest in personal watercraft are right alongside with winning the championship.
Now that I'm way more focused in what I'm doing right now, it's not a dream, it's an obsession. And it's got to happen, and it will happen for sure.
Time now to move on to round number 3 in Austin, Texas. And the big news as we move to the Lone Star State, the return of Victor the Slasher Sheldon after a finger injury. Now, the jammer, Jeff Jacobs, has his sights set on Harry Gocher, who has extended his point lead to 27 after a great performance in the Pro Mod. Frank Romero moves into third with 77 points. Before we get underway in Austin, however, let's check out the great nightlife with Kat Lindsay.
Blocks and blocks of people here on 6th Street in downtown Austin. This is it. This is the place to be for music. And I'm going to go find some of my stuff, which is, you know, the rhythm and blues. So come on.
If you ever make it here, you'll find that 6th Street is a miniature melting pot of American culture, poured into one small block of Texan acreage. There is all kinds of food, different types of people, and many styles of music. How about some good old rock and roll? Or maybe a little funk and jive? It's okay, but let's keep looking. Now, here's something really different. Okay, some rock and roll with a little edge to it. But if they ever let me out of here, I am going to find some rhythm and blues. I promise.
Oh man, check it out, the Catfish Station. This has got to be my place. The best rhythm and blues in town, made better when they let me sing a couple.
To the action we go in the 650 Limited. Everybody's ready to go at the start. And it's Chris McCluggage, Victor Sheldon, and Mike Yelich vying for the whole shot. However, it's McCluggage taking advantage of his pole position to slingshot into the lead. determined to make up for that disqualification in Sacramento. Finishing second is Yelich, followed closely by Frank Romero, who shows remarkable consistency. Meanwhile, the kid finally takes a win in the 650. The ever-pleasing freestyle competition heats up in Austin, with Mark Babin showing off a nice barefoot power move and this clean nose stab, good enough to finish second. Kirk Brito also performs well with a backwards barefoot and his own nose stab into a submarine. 8-month pregnant Lauren Nunes finished third with her own brand of freestyle. But it was Scott Watkins with his sub under the log jump and his fluid style that clinched his third win in as many tries. He makes it look so easy. Tell us about it, Scott. In the Super Solo semifinals, it's Mike Yelich pitted up against Matt Alligood. Yelich has a great run going, but his boat stalls out on the back turn, allowing Alligood to advance to the finals. In the second pairing of the semis, it's the jammer, Jeff Jacobs, once again beating up on the kid, Chris McCluggage, with a time of 23:42 to advance to the finals against Alligood. Matt shows fine form here, but not good enough to beat Jacobs' winning time of 23:12. The King wins the Super Solo Challenge for the second time. The women's pro mod finds Christy Carlson sitting on the pole position with Reagan Cole and Karen Jacobs alongside. And as usual, it's Carlson taking the whole shot. And with Christy in the lead, the only rider with a chance of catching her is Reagan Cole. But without smooth water, the Rager will have to settle for second. The real battle happens when Karen Jacobs makes a stab for third, but Dawn Mad Dog Woods stays on the gas. So Christy Carlson takes her second win of the tour. In the men's pro mod, Chris McCluggage takes off with a jackrabbit start, but it's Victor the Slasher Sheldon on the inside line blasting into the lead. Back in the pack with a bad start, Jacobs and his rocket boat scamper past Frank Romero into third. Arguably the best passer in the sport and certainly the most feared, the jammer sets up the kid but falls in his pump wash. Late in the race, Sheldon almost blows it with this bad wipeout, but has enough of a lead to beat McCluggage and take the win. Let's meet the Slasher.
Pro rider Victor Sheldon has a racing style all his own. A hand injury has kept him from competing in the first two rounds of the tour. But now, Victor Sheldon and his leg drag style are back. And for the other riders, that means trouble.
When they call me the Slasher, I got a mean leg drag, and I guess it kind of went with the nickname. So, I use the leg drag more than I think a lot of the other top guys, and I think I've been the only one to really use it permanently.
After finishing second overall in '89, the Slasher has begun a quest designed to push himself to the top. By cross-training on his motorcycle, Victor feels he improves both the physical stamina and mental toughness it takes to become a champion.
When I ride my motorcycle, it's kind of like you're always thinking. You can't lose train of thought because you can go down real easy. And I think when I'm doing that, I'm kind of training myself for the jet ski to keep thinking and keep everything in perspective. It's a sport, but it's a very mental sport, and it's hard to. If your mind's not set straight, I don't think you're going to go straight.
Now the only thing separating Victor from a national championship is four-time winner Jeff Jacobs.
Jeff's a hard guy to beat, but he can be beat. And I guess you just got to train harder and just want it more. But if you beat him, you feel really good about yourself because you've accomplished something that not very many people do.
Even though he takes his racing seriously, he still finds the sport to be a lot of fun.
It's helped me great. The sport is clean. The people in it are great. There's no negative things about it. It's a great feeling, but just carving through the water 50 miles an hour plus is the biggest high you can get.
Round number 4 and our first look at the fish. Chris Fischetti, who joins the fun after being out with a broken arm. He and Victor Sheldon coming off of that big win in Austin, hope to move into the top 5. And this will be our first look at all the big guns together. Now, the overall points at the halfway mark of the tour, Jeff Jacobs a bit behind Harry Gocher, and you know the Jammer doesn't like that one bit. But don't count out the kid, Chris McCluggage or Frank Romero. They're ready to pounce if somebody makes a mistake. All right, it's on to Spa Beach in St. Petersburg, Florida. But first, a look at Club Wave.
Welcome back to the Club Wave Beach Party, where everybody gets a little piece of action. They even rung me into the ring toss with Hall and Harry Gocher himself. I meant to fall in, just to cool off. Club Wave isn't just fun and games, though. The Yamaha water vehicle dealers provide information and activities to members all across the country. If you're into touring and checking out new locations, you can join family and friends for one of the many touring rides offered each year. Club Wave Waterfest gives members a chance to enjoy a vacation day on the water with each other. The Superjet Pro staff demonstrates proper riding techniques and gives safety pointers. The rest of the day includes taking pleasure tours, playing games, sharing riding stories, and exchanging customizing tips. Working closely with the communities and the Center for Marine Conservation, Yamaha dealers even organize charity events and beach cleanups that help preserve the environment. Club Wave members also receive a quarterly newsletter with information on upcoming activities and water vehicle news. So, if you're looking for a place to tour or some new friends to ride with, Yamaha's Club Wave Beach Party is the perfect place to be. So grab some family, grab some friends, and hit the water.
Emerging from the hard-charging field at the hole shot is local favorite and long shot Brian Gibson. Brian, out of Lake Worth, Florida, has his hands full, keeping Victor Sheldon off his back, as Mike Yelich holds firmly on to third place. Chris McCluggage fights hard but fails to bag fourth from Frank Romero. In the last lap, having worn Gibson down, Sheldon finally makes his move, slashing past Brian for the lead and the win. Victor Sheldon is once again a force in the 650. On to the freestyle competition, and Jeffrey Hemmel pulls off a great barrel roll and a third-place finish. Mark Babin moves into fourth with this no-hands bomb pirouette off the hood cover. Hollywood Scott Watkins aerials and finesse tricks like this Bronco into a one-handed tailspin definitely impresses the crowd. But it's Chris Crash Williams who one-ups Watkins, as he too displays fine control with this tail stall and 360 in the tray. He seals the win with this flashy hop into a submarine. Finally, someone unseats Watkins and keeps him from a lock on the Freestyle Championship. The first pairing of the Super Solo Semis, it's Jeff Jacobs squaring off against Floridian Paul Buchanan. Jacobs posts a time of 23.85, but Buchanan, in a startling upset, beats the champ by 1/100th of a second. In the second pairing, it's Chris McCluggage of Naples, Florida, besting his good buddy Matt Alligood with a time of 24.18. Moving into the finals, Buchanan battles the kid, armed with the momentum of beating the world champion, the Jammer, Jeff Jacobs. They cross the finish line and await the times. Unbelievable. They both post times of 25.09 for a tie, and McCluggage can't believe it. In their second run, it's do or die for Buchanan, but it's not to be. The kid pours on the gas and ties Jacobs with 2 wins in the Super Solo Challenge. Let's meet the Mighty Mike.
At 5'1" and 115 pounds, Pro X2 world champion Chris the Kid McCluggage feels his compact size works to his advantage.
Everybody says it is, and I think so, because just being small and a lot lighter than everybody helps ski go faster and get better starts off the line. It works in like slalom, to get in and out of the turns real fast and to get on the ski quicker, and to come from a dead stop to on plane a lot faster.
Even though his build is a plus, Chris knows it's the extra dedication and determination that will help him achieve his goals.
Practice a lot, ride real hard, train, but never give up. Even if I'm dead tired, I just try to ride until can't ride no more.
It's this go-for-it attitude that is pulling Chris up the ladder. The kid still has a lot of play left in him, but when he's on the water, he is all business.
A normal day situation, we're all friends, but when we're on the course and when that rubber band goes, enemies, just fiberglass warfare.
In the women's pro mod, it's Reagan Cole taking advantage of her pole position to take the whole shot and jump out to an early lead. It looks like Cole will finally beat Carlson until late in the race. Christie sets her up on the outside and swoops in for the kill on the next inside turn. Same old song and dance, Carlson wins her third pro mod. In the men's pro mod, Paul and Harry Gocher stakes himself to the lead and sets the pace in the choppy waters of the Gulf. Chris the Fish Fischetti, back in form after his broken arm, holds on to second place until fatigue allows Jeff Jacobs to pass and attack Harry for the lead. Hollywood Scott Watkins and I have the call.
I think he's studying Harry now. He knows he's going to have a little problem with it, so he's really going to have to be smart in picking his spot where he's going to take him over.
Here's Gocher. Here's Jacobs. Right behind him. He's looking back at him. This is a battle now.
He poured it on. He saw Jeff right there on his tail, and Jeff's got the inside line here, and I think he's going to take him.
What a
He
battle!
did it.
Jacobs overtakes Gocher. Now Gocher took him back. I got it. You take it. There's the white flag. It signified the last lap.
This is it, right down to the wire here.
Jacobs right around that buoy. Gocher's going to win it. Harry Gocher, an incredible battle.
All of a sudden, last lap, where'd the jammer come from? Jeff pokes his nose into the frame for the last lap effort. Victory for Goach, yeah!
With the win, Harry maintains his overall lead over the jammer Jeff Jacobs, who must make a move this week if he's going to challenge the final week in Phoenix, Arizona. Frank Romero and Chris McCluggage are still within striking distance, but it's Victor Sheldon who's on the fast track despite missing the first two rounds with a finger injury. Something special for you now as we take a closer look at some of the up-and-coming riders on the tour.
We've heard a lot about the hottest riders on the tour. Gocher, Jacobs, Carlson, and Sheldon are undoubtedly the mainstays of the sport. But what about the racers who are warming up to the task of defeating these top riders? Here's a look at a few pros who are on the burner. Mike Yelich is a 9-year veteran who almost retired last year.
Well, the reason I'm racing this year, I was going to retire, and Jet Pilot and Yamaha got together, and I was doing promotions for them. And they go, hey, how would you like to do the Yamaha tour? And I said, I'd love to race, and here I am now.
With a little help, the flame continues to burn for Mike Yelich. But when the fire for competition goes out, Mike is sure to remain in the sport.
I would like to be a team manager and to help the guys really mature into the sport, because you know that's going to be the future of our sport is the younger riders right now.
More and more women are getting into personal watercraft racing. With Reagan Cole, it was her interest in other water sports that led her to race water vehicles.
I come from the background of water skiing and skirfing, and for me, I got on my jet ski and started cranking turns right away, and something that felt really comfortable for me to do, so kind of knew it was going to come to this.
Currently ranked number 2, Reagan feels she has all the physical tools to become number 1. It's the mental aspect that's missing the spark.
I know the turns, I know how to ride my jet ski, that's a given. I think if I continue practicing, work on my mental confidence, that I'll be right up there, where I know I can be, should be.
16-year-old Matt Alligood is the hottest rookie on the tour, and he knows what it takes to crack into the ranks of the pros.
Well, if you're out in front, you just don't worry about who's behind you. You just ride strong, pay attention to what you're doing, and try not messing up any. And you'll have no problems winning the race.
With help from close friend and arch rival Chris McCluggage, Matt hopes to someday be number 1. But right now his goal is just to defeat his protege.
Hopefully this year I'll get top 10 in the Prime Hot Wire Tour.
Pro racer Frank Romero is surprising everyone on the tour. Frank relies on good equipment, but also gives credit to fellow riders.
training with the top riders like Chris Fischetti and Reagan Cole, and having real fast equipment has helped me a whole lot.
This combination is paying off for Romero as he consistently places among the top riders of the Tour. As his position in the standings rise, so do his expectations.
To make the top 5 is a big goal for me right now. You know, if I can gather up enough sponsors to pull me through for just a season of nothing but hard training, that's what I'm looking for.
These up-and-coming racers know that a little bit of help is all they need to push them off the burner and into the hot seat. Some riders don't get the recognition they deserve, but by performing well in their respective classes, these racers are having an impact on the Tour. Paul Buchan is determined to become a top pro.
My attitude is strictly 100% positive and totally focused on winning. That's all I want to do is win. When I line up on that line, I'm looking to hole shot and dominate the rest of the race. That's all there is to it. You got to be focused. You got to have a good attitude. You got to have the drive to get there. And I want it. I want it bad.
The leading rider in the Tour's X2 class is veteran Art Chambers. After making the switch this year, Art feels that racing the X2s matches both his style and abilities.
This is my first year on the X2s. I raced skis for about 7 years and basically got a little burnt out. You know, I'd reached the top of my ladder, basically, got as high as I was going to do. And so I started riding X2s, and they're just a real good time. You know, it allowed me basically to be competitive again without giving as much of an effort, you know, to be competitive. The X2s are just a whole new way of riding, and it's basically made the whole thing fun again.
The expert class is headed by 2 teammates from Texas. Both D.L. Wood and Jason Schultz have their sights set on turning pro.
I ride Expert Modified and Expert 550 Limited. I'm winning the series. With any luck at all, if I can have a good day today, turn in some good finishes, I'll ride pro at the last round at Phoenix.
In the sport of jet skiing, I'd like to make it to the pro class and do the best I can. I'd like to be number 1, but you know that's a pretty bold move to say. But I'd like to be number 1, and it'll take some tough work. But top 5 would be a good thing to shoot for next year.
These are the racers who are on the burner, each one creating a name for himself in the world of Hydrocross racing.
Now it's round number 5 as we move to Charlotte, North Carolina, and a look behind the scenes with Kat Lindsay.
I didn't realize how much effort is involved in all this neon and speed. Come on, let's have a look.
Put this red one here, put a red one here, put the blue down a little more.
Big stage, big stage.
Left line down wave are real important.
What's really going on back there?
You need to watch that white water. On the blue.
It's okay for now. We're gonna...
One more. You ready yet? There's not enough room for the start here. You're gonna line up for the start. The only thing that you lose this camera. Great.
So now that we've checked out what really goes on behind the scenes, you can just sit back and enjoy the rest of the competition.
Coming off his fine Super Solo performance in St. Pete, Paul Buchan takes the whole shot in the 650 in Charlotte, but not for long. Here's how we called it. Remember now that right-hand turn. Oh, what a pass there on the first or second buoy. Sensational.
Mahler, Mike the Yelich Mahler, incredible inside pass. Bumped him, took him just to the outside. Just what it took to get by him right here in the first lap.
With Buchan in second, the battle was for third.
Victor almost went down there. Gunning for Fischetti. Over the bunny at the same time. They both go down. Victor's on the inside. Let's see how he comes out on round. He did it. He got by Fischetti, took him a little wide. He went a little too wide. Fischetti got off the gas just in time.
So it's Mike Yelich winning the 650 thanks to that gutsy pass he made on Buchan. He sweeps in tight, gives him a little bump, and takes the smooth water to victory. More fun now in the freestyle. Timothy Hawk manages to salvage what appears to be a bad hop into a barrel roll and rides out clean to 4th place. Chris Fischetti shows off his loose brand of dazzle with this fast 1-foot tailspin and caps off his routine with this backwards flip off the ski. Chris Crash Williams is back and comes out strong following his win in St. Pete with a barefoot into a power spin. But it's Scott Watkins winning for the 4th time despite having to ride Victor Sheldon's ski.
My boat broke down just minutes before my routine. I ran over to Victor. I got to use it. Let me use it. Went out. It all came back to me. It felt great, and I had my routine down, and I pulled it off.
Semi-final action in the Super Solo Challenge featuring Jeff Jacobs and David McConnell, who was eliminated when the nose of his ski throws him off, sending Jacobs into the finals with a time of 22.75. In the second pairing, it's McCluggage and Romero, with the kid on his Superjet advancing into the finals and another showdown with the Jammer. With McCluggage on the yellow course, they both make the turnaround buoy at the same time. Here's Jacobs bringing it home on the blue course. Across the finish line, and it's close. McCluggage, a time of 22.87, not good enough to beat Jacobs' smoking time of 22.47. Jacobs wins for the 3rd time. Let's meet a real hotshot.
Jammin' Jeff Jacobs is serious about hydrocross racing. He has to be. But all work and no play would make Jeff such a dull boy.
A lot of people think I'm too serious. I think that's wrong because sure I practice around buoys. I just do what's necessary, but I don't overdo it. Most people think that's why I'm so good, but I don't overdo it. I like to go out in the waves. Whenever I feel burnout, I'll put the jet ski away for a week, and do something else.
And for the Jammer, that means breaking out the guitar.
I think it relaxes me. It gets me away from the whole atmosphere. And when I'm away from the atmosphere, I can think a lot more freely like I was a normal kid sometimes, and I enjoy that. Actually, I love it because it puts me in my own deep thought.
Jeff thinks a lot about winning. He also sees the other benefits in the sport.
It's taken me so many places that it's unbelievable where I've gone. I've gone to different countries, France, Germany, Japan, and competed over there, and just it's something that you really can't explain. It's something you have to have first-hand experience in, because you can actually learn so much from just going to a different country that you'll never learn in a book or in school. And that's what I've really loved about the sport.
With 4 titles under his belt, Jeff Jacobs works hard to stay on top. But the Jammer is having some fun by learning to play a little along the way.
Sitting in the post position 1, 2, and 3, it's Carlson, Cole, and Jacobs once again at the start of the Women's Pro Mod. Carlson takes the whole shot, leaving Cole to battle with Tina Martinez for second. Tina fights hard to stay in front, and when Reagan spins out right here, Michelle Baines moves into third until Martinez's boat breaks down, putting her out of the race. Meanwhile, Carlson cruises to her 4th easy win. Michelle Baines holds off Reagan to finish second. With the men's Pro Mod set to go off, as in Sacramento, Jeff Jacobs is out with mechanical problems. So it's Emmett Robin Hood coming off the line with Victor Sheldon to lead the pack. Hood stays in front until Sheldon strikes late in the race. Emmett Hood in a bit of a surprise. And now Victor Sheldon slashed his way to the lead.
He just came over, took the inside line, held his speed.
Chris Fischetti also makes his move on the fading Emmett Hood and pursues the slasher until this mistake turns him completely around and forces him to pass Hood again to finish behind Victor Sheldon in his second come-from-behind win in the Pro Mod. That win by Sheldon propels him into a position to take a stab at McCluggage and Romero. Harry Gocher holds on to first by only 4 points. And with that, the tour moves on to Phoenix, Arizona and the Arizona Ski Springs, a small man-made lake with a jump across an island that the riders must negotiate. With the championship on the line, we had a little bonus coverage. Jacobs running away with the Superstock 550 limited class. Gocher finishes in third, putting him 1 point behind Jacobs, setting the stage for one heck of a showdown in the Pro Mod. For Hollywood Scott Watkins, I'm Bill McDonald. So long, everybody.